Yes guys, welcome from me, Championship Manager 0102, keeping the game alive. Okay, so today's video, you can see it in the description right there. This is an update on the three-man online game that I've got going with Ian and Pep. I'm restoring it as a solo game because I'm using a different device basically. This game, you can see by the title where we've got to. This is just absolutely insane game as we've reached what I feel excuse me, is a bit of a milestone. The end of season 120. Absolutely crazy. So season 120, and we have just gone past the update, so the all the boring shit's done. We are in the process of the World Cup. And we'll start with that first. So the World Cup then, Pepe is Holland, Ian is Italy, and well, where do we start? Let's do it like this. So the current status is the groups have just finished. So the World Cup is like this. Ian, Argentina in the second round. Pep has the United States. Now you know, for me, I go through phases where I do a little bit of international management. We've all done it, we've all won it and shit. It's like almost like a little part-time job. But that is where we're at with the international side of things. So we have now concluded season 120. Now, if you tuned into the previous video, I can't remember what season we were up to. If it was end of season 119. But there's always lots of records to go, and there's always regens, and there's this and there's that, and there's this and there's that. Last season, it went all the way, and it finished. I took it on the last game of the season from Pep, but that was a big thing for Pep because, as you can probably work out there, Pep hadn't finished in the top two since 21-22, and then right through, he didn't make it in the top three at all until last season. Now that last game of the season, right, I'll show you something very quickly. The last game of the season, I was playing Ian. Pep had to win and I had to lose. A draw, I would have won the title on goal difference, but I won. So Pep was on the brink, and he's got a lot stronger. Pep has. There's no doubt about that. So credit where it's due to Pep for going all the way, because his side, he's taken a lot of criticism, particularly from me. So he's done very, very well. The FA Cup. I can't even go to it without giving any spoilers away from the other competitions. The FA Cup remained with Pep. Pepe beat AI in the final, and he retained it. So well done to Pepe for the FA Cup. In fact, we can actually go to that, can't we? So if we just go to competition, the FA Cup, yeah, Pep did extremely, extremely well there. I think he knocked me out the semi-final actually. The League Cup went to me. I beat Pepe in the final. So it was dominant me and Pep throughout the whole. Now the Champions League, right? The Champions League was absolutely insane. It was an insane thing. Because the bottom line is, none of us won it. None of us won the Champions League. Let's just go to the bottom line of it, right? The Champions League final, look at that. That's what happened in the Champions League final. My old team Spurs from years ago, who finished fourth, absolutely tore me apart in the Champions League final. I don't know what went wrong. I really don't. But ironically, you may recall on one of my previous videos, which I think was a season ago, Ian sold this guy, because he was out of contract, to Spurs. And there's no doubt about it that he was a driving force behind their Champions League triumph. No doubt about that. So credit where it's due to Spurs. They won't have to play qualifying because they won it. And that is the first time I think we said, it's the first time in God knows how many years. When was the last time AI won it? It was back in 2107. Although Liverpool's one of my old teams, I weren't manager in Liverpool in 2107. So that was when AI last won it. So what we're saying then, 27 years, 27 years. So credit where it's due to Spurs, no doubt about that. But the funny thing is, right, is as you can see, look at the semi-final. I won the first leg against Ian, 5-2. And then the second leg, He won it 3-1. So that was absolutely crazy, weren't it? Absolutely crazy. Yeah, so I ended up winning it 6-5 on aggregate. And at the same time, of course, we'll have to go to Pep. Pep was knocked out by Spurs over the 2 legs. He lost both games. So it was quite crazy. It was absolutely crazy. To think that AI could push us. In terms of the season itself, let's take a look at how Pep finished. You'll see Pep finished with 96 points, whereas I finished with 98 points. So that's what I mean by, you can see if I'd drawn, I'd have won the title on goal difference. Now, let me point out, right, last season, that is the second season running that Ian has ended up trophyless. I say trophyless, I allow for that to be the League Cup, the FA Cup, the Champions League, or the league. So quite surprised by Ian's standards, but nevertheless. So the new season is almost upon us. Now, for me, I've brought in 2 players, both from Coventry. You could argue, why would I change my formation after 2 seasons of having the same formation of winning the title? I guess it's just a little bit of boredom, to be honest with you. But I've certainly had a big clear out. I've had a big clear out of some players. A player that I bent over backwards to get from Pepe, I've got rid of. I wasn't happy with them. A few AMCs. I am changing formation, I should point out, and I'm going to show you my formation in a moment. But there's a lot of players coming and going. And based on the players that I've got, I had a lot of issues with my goalkeepers. My Mexican goalkeeper kept getting injured last season, as you can see. I ended up buying almost an emergency goalkeeper, but I am fucking him off. But my new tactic is that I've only really worked on it, and if it don't pay off in the first few games of the season, I'll probably revert back to my boom tactic, or what I've recently renamed my June boom, because I modified it during the month of June. But that, and there is a method to my madness. Some of you are looking at it thinking, ugh, that's disgusting. Well, I've got no arrows. The method of my madness there is, if you look at the positions that I've got available to me, I've got a lot of players that can play there, and there'll be no positional penalty points, as they call it. It's something I read upon. Whether it's effective, I don't know, but that is my new philosophy, and it is only a philosophy. So I'll only have 1 centre mid, 1 DMC. I am happy to sell Agbo, but world class player. But I'm only happy to sell him. I turned down 100 million offer from Barca. I'm only happy to sell him on a part exchange. Otherwise, the fucker can just get some splinters on his arse in the reserves. So I still think my defence is quite weak. So I'm actually contemplating playing Agbo in defence. I'm not sure, because the reason being I'm not sure is because he's not got a good positioning attribute. So we'll see how we go. So that's me. Let's go over to Ian. Ian has been busy in the transfer market before the turn of the June thing. He's sure he's got some more players coming. Let's have a look. No, he's getting rid of. It must have been towards the back end then of this. Must have been the back end. Do you know what? I feel that I've seen his name a lot more times. So he's brought. That's my ex-players. That is a great centre mid. That is absolute great centre mid. I thought. Oh yeah, there is more. Look, I'm talking about. Yeah, so he brought a few players at the back end of the market, and a couple more. Ian has done very, very well. He's been very, very active, very busy. Certainly offloaded a few players. I don't know if he's no one so far this season. Let's go to Pep then. Pep players out then. No one so far since June. And as you can see, now this is where me and Pep did some business. Very, very interesting move from Pep. So Pep offloaded. He was happy to sell him the Neymar regen. Now I offloaded the Neymar regen to Pep. Pep has offloaded him back to me for. I'll show you who for in a moment. But he offloaded him So he's one of my ex-players. I've taken him back. That's the centre mid. Very, very surprised at that. But let's have a look at players in then. So that's a player that Pep went to Pep. He never really made it for me. Oh, that was it. The right back caused me a lot of issues. Turned down £122 million offer from Barca for him, but he moved in a big, big part exchange. And Pep's also brought in a couple of players, seemingly for the reserves. So yeah, not too much action from Pep. Still playing the traditional boom tactic, and Ian is still playing the traditional 4-1-2-2-1. Of course, Ian's main striker is Nicholson. Well, let's see. Yeah, there's nothing worth screaming about with Ian. I think Ian, right, to be fair, let me show you something last season. He had a bit of a horrid run against me, to be honest with you. Where was it? Got where it was. It must have been the League Cup semi. He had a man sent off. Go to that first Champions League. Could have swore. Oh, maybe I'm just fucking. Maybe I'm just talking at my arse. Oh yeah, there it was. Yeah, so Ian. Forget where it was. Right, okay. There we go. Ah, right, yeah, okay, this was it. I knew there was something. So, the League Cup semi-final first leg. Ian, I beat Ian 3-0. And he subbed his goalie, which he intends to do when his goalie's doing shit. I mean, it was 3-0 after 43 minutes. So he subbed him off. He brought on Cozzolino, and as you can see, 4 minutes ago, Cozzolino was red carded. So he was very, very lucky that there was only a few minutes to go. Now, funnily enough, right, I then played Ian in the league a week later, and Beckman got red carded. So it was all going wrong for Ian, it was fair to say. I mean, it was absolutely horrendous time for him. And he'd lost to Spurs in the league before that. So, he did have a bit of a horrid run. So that's where we're at then with this game. I mean, the game just carries on. I mean, one thing I haven't looked at, and I am genuinely looking at this very, very closely, if anything appeals to me. QPR doesn't. But, do I want to go for a hat-trick of Premier League titles? Well, yeah, I do, really. So, that is where we're at, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions, anything you want to add, anything you want to know more about within the game, do let me know. If you want anything doing on CM, do let me know. Until next time, guys, take it easy from me.